want to talk about something which is very, very important for all of us,
Sure.
differentiated customer experiences.
Okay.
So if you, just want to look at what it takes for banks to deliver customer first strategies
Sure.
in a sea of sameness, if you know what I mean. Every bank, I'm sure, aim to be client centric, but in your view, even before we go, what does it truly mean to be customer first bank today?
It goes beyond the mobile app that they have and being responsive on the chatbot and the call center. Okay. Where the world is heading, hyper personalization is the theme. I think banks needs to start looking at being, a partner, a transformation, somebody who goes along with you in the life journey.
Yeah.
And there are milestones. You go to school, you from there to universities, from there, you start working, buy a house, etc. How are you designing product to go along in that journey of your customer and consumer? That's where they need to get into. It is not about the standard traditional processes that they've been used to anymore, and that's the personalization that they're expecting. So that's the customer centricity will not come anymore from I'm carrying a briefcase of offerings, things like retail banking or what was the banking or corporate banking, etc. That needs to change. People are not going to the branches anymore.
Yeah.
They're doing things on their mobile app, but they have the same business, the needs as an individual, and that's the pivot the bank needs to make. How do you go along a consumer's life journey rather than offering that I have these capabilities, these products, these services, go take it.
Yeah.
So customizing, that's I think the change that we need to do. Again, just going back to the same topic here. How can the banks differentiate between products that they have currently and the channel parity, when that's the norm here? So
Yeah.
what should they do differently?
It's a tricky one. But I think for me, differentiation is, especially in banking today, isn't about what services are offered.
Sure.
I think it's more about when and how they're delivered to their customers, right? And to truly stand out, I think banks need to serve the customer as a whole, which is not happening today, but that's what they want to do. That means going beyond the financial needs to understand the context, the preferences, and what goals the customer has, and doing it so proactively, consistently, and with empathy. I think that's very, very important as well. I think it's also about building the trust through meaningful interactions. Every interaction they're having with clients, it actually builds trust. Designing the experiences with emotional intelligence and creating human moments that digital can't replicate. Right? And to deliver a frictionless and differentiated experiences, for me, I think the banks must continue to invest in some of the key areas that elevate customer engagement and satisfaction. Some of them is the data democratization part of it, which will lead to your upsell and cross-sell.
Sure.
And then it's about artificial intelligence, especially leveraging the conversational AI, and then the smart world interactions, including your immersive banking experiences. All this is where I think
so it really boils down to building trust
Exactly.
and then designing the new processes more outside in, keeping the consumer in mind is where.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's a need of the hour, and I
It
think
is.
So Mahesh, it's interestingly, I like the things that you said: data democratization, picking up on where hyper personalization, etc., is coming from. So, are the banks designing experience for their consumers or for solving for their own internal operation? What's your read on that?
I think it's a bit of a mixed picture. Traditionally, I think banks have looked at things through an operational lens, focusing heavily on internal efficiency and compliance because heavily regulated, etc.
Of course.
That's left many of them tied to legacy systems, and as a result, customer experience hasn't always been a top priority. Not saying it is not, but it's not been their top priority. You can really see this in the complex, risk-heavy areas like consumer and commercial lending or trade finance, for examples, where operations tend to dominate the design, but things are changing. That's a good thing.
Of course.
Today, if you go, you can apply for a credit card, and immediately you'll get a virtual one instantly where you can start using it. You can take out, a BNPL loan while shopping. You can actually take your BNPL loan.
Sure.
Or even get a pre-approved mortgage just in minutes. So things are rapidly changing. And if you go further, some of the forward-thinking banks are actually offering features like persona-based financial advice, spend and saving analytics, and more. I think it's it's a clear shift towards meeting customers where they are and also bringing the experience that are faster, smarter, and actually more personalized. So
I
that's
think
it. Yeah.
so the product and services offerings are getting more designed around their consumer rather than the systems and the
Consumer. And in
processes.
fact, coming where the consumers are
Right.
as well,
Oh,
right?
that's
So that's
great.
what
That's
it
good
is.
to hear.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Really, that's interesting.